Now they're 10 miles outside of Boston, in the woods, which is a location that you start off at before travelling into Lincoln. Ellie's now wearing a green coat with a red hoodie, and this is something that she donned later on in the game once we hit the winter sections, which leads into a conversation that plays out slightly differently in the game. They kind of change up the positioning of the lines, and Joel says not to bring up Tess here, whereas he does it at the end of the episode in the show.
Hey, look, about Tess.
Listen, about Tess.
I don't even know what
Here's how this thing's gonna play out. You don't bring up Tess. Ever.
Rule 1, you don't bring up Tess. Ever.
Matter of fact, we just keep our histories to ourselves.
Matter of fact, we can just keep our histories to ourselves.
Secondly, don't tell anybody about your condition.
Rule 2, you don't tell anyone about your condition.
They think you're crazy, they'll try to kill you.
They see that bite mark, they won't think it through, they'll just shoot you.
And lastly, you do what I say when I say it.
Rule 3, you do what I say when I say it.
We clear?
We clear?
Yes.
Repeat it.
Sure.
Repeat it.
What you say goes.
What you say goes.
Good.
Okay.
Now they travel to Cumberland Farms. This is a stash house where Joel's left behind supplies, but the real talking point here is the Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet. Now this scene actually pulls from the game itself, but instead of Mortal Kombat 2, we have a cabinet for the in-universe fighter called the Turning. And that is the character Angel Knives, and Ellie describes her fatality much in the same way that she does for Mylena here.
Would you play this before?
You ever play this one? I had a friend who knew everything about this game.
No. But I had a friend that knew everything about this game.
There's this one character named Melina who takes off her mask and she has monster teeth and then she swallows you whole and barfs out your bones.
Apparently, there's this character called Angel Knives who'd... What was it? She'd punch a hole through your stomach before kicking your head off.
I was never a big fan of these things.
I wish I could play it.
Oh, man.
Now further up the path, they come across several skeletons. The game would have the odd scene like this, with red and blue clothing standing out amongst the corpses. We never really know what happened at these places in the game, but Joel fills us in on them. Every single person's being given a mandatory evacuation notice. This sign also popped up in the game, and when you entered Lincoln, you could spot it in the middle of the street. X's are painted on doors, and in the game you'd often come across these houses warning you not to enter. Now we see that Bill's door has an X on it with markings around it. Like the one before, these are pulled from the game, but they've also appeared in real life, and during Hurricane Katrina they could be found on doors. Now they really recaptured the look of Bill, and along with his trusted shotgun, he looks pretty identical to the game. He ends up donning his gas mask, which is something he too wore in the PlayStation counterpart. Bill is different in the game, I think, because he's way more open, whereas in The Last of Us, he looks down on Joel for caring about people.
And in this world, that sort of shit's good for one thing, getting you killed. So you know what I did? I wisened the fuck up, and I realized it's gotta be just me.
Just in the same way that this part of the game ends, we get a scene in which they discover the truck and lift up the front. The pair get some clothes and Ellie slips into the red t-shirt that she wore throughout the game. Joel comes out, finally wearing the green checkered shirt that he dons throughout the majority of the story, and you might have noticed Frank wearing this earlier in the episode. They get in the car together, and originally in the game you had a much tenser scene in which you had to jumpstart it. Joel and Bill had to push it as the infected swarmed them, whilst Ellie sat in the ride attempting to pop the clutch. And so far I think we've had 3 really strong episodes. I know there's kind of back and forth at the moment, but let me know your thoughts below, and again, thank you for rocking with me. If you want something else to watch, we've got another Last of Us video on screen right now, so definitely head over there right after this. With that out of the way, thank you for clicking on the video. I've been Paul, you enjoy the rest of your night, or day, or week, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.